In this video, we'll talk about job types, job special instructions, and job questions. First, we'll talk about job types. The job types can be viewed and edited by going to Settings and then going to Job Settings. From here, I'll click on Job Types. I'll scroll down to see this list. Job types are the categories that can be used for the workflow. It can be useful for your system to know whether, say, this is a plumbing job, a drain job, and so on. It can be good to have a relatively small number of job types to choose from, so that bookers can be more accurate with the grouping of their calls. I'll choose one of these as an example. I'll go into Available Actions and go into View/Update. Within the job types, you can see that we can specify a minimum and maximum number of photos that are going to be required for a technician to upload at various points throughout the process. Here, this is the option for strict booking. It can be set to yes or no. If strict booking is enabled, only technicians who have qualifications for this job type can be assigned as primary. For example, if it is a water heater job, only a technician whose profile says that they have qualifications for water heater work can be assigned as primary. This helps to prevent sending people out to jobs who don't have the qualification to perform. If you need to override this can be done. First, have a qualified technician accept the job, and then at some point afterwards, the primary technician can be changed to another technician. Booking hints is a key part of the job type. Here, these are keywords that are defined in these booking hints that are used in order to guess what the job type is. When the job problem is entered in, the system will look for these keywords and assign the job type according to whether it sees some of these keywords. So, this list of booking hints here is related to the job problem field that we'll see on the job creation page in another video. In this part of the video, we will talk about job special steps. First, we'll look at the job creation page. This is an example job that we're in the middle of creating, shown for demonstration purposes. When a job is created, there's a place to add special steps. These are essentially messages or reminders that can be attached to the job. In the video about updating jobs, we mentioned some example special instructions. There could be an instruction added for the billing department where we would add information about a special discount. Or there could be an instruction passed to the technician, such as a request to only use copper pipes. When a special instruction is added on this page, it applies only to this particular job. When other jobs are created, the instructions won't appear. By contrast, now we can show a way to add special steps that are added for every job, not just to one. After logging in, we can go to Settings, then to Job Settings. On this page, we can click Job Special Steps. Here, there are globally defined special instructions that can be set up to be added to every job that is created. One can be added by clicking Create, and an existing one can be edited by going to Available Actions and going to View/Update. I'll click Create to show how this process works. For example, I'll add a special instruction that will show up during the payment process that will remind people to look at the discount information. Now I'll scroll down. Then I'll choose which job types this is applicable for. I'll select one or more of these and then use this right arrow to add them to the list. In this case, I want this to apply for every job type, and so I will select all types and add them all. Next, we can select where and when this instruction will be shown. When done, we click Save to save changes. The new instruction will be in this list here. In the job invoice flow, while taking payment, our new instruction will be shown. Next, we'll talk about job questions. We can view the job questions by going to Settings and then going to Job Settings. On this page, we see buttons for Job Start Questions and Job Finish Questions. We can set up custom questions. These questions are going to be sent to the technicians so that we can get information from them or remind them to do a required step. I'll click this Job Start Questions button to view the Job Start questions. So these questions will be sent to the technician, and if this required is true, they'll be required to provide an answer. Because these are job start questions, they'll be sent at the start of the job, and the same process will occur at the end of the job for the job finish questions. This button here can be used to create a job start question. To edit a job start question, we can click on Available Actions and then click View Update. The question can be entered in here. This can select the type of response. There's yes or no, also known as bool or boolean. These are for questions that have a simple yes or no answer. We can use custom choices. We can use free text, numbers, or dates. This is the same as used for custom fields. Here we designate whether this question is only sent to the primary technician or sent to every technician. Here we select what job types are applicable for this question. So for example, if this was applicable to fence replacement, I would choose this and use this arrow to add it to the list. Now fence replacement will ask this question. If I decide that fence replacement doesn't apply for this question, I will select it here and use the left arrow to deselect it. This here will let me designate whether this is required or not. Here we see an audit history of the changes being made, and this button can be used to save the changes. I'll go back to this page. And if I go into job finish questions, it works exactly the same as job start questions. In this video, first we talked about job types, and then we talked about job questions.